Hello everyone and welcome to Throwback Thursday Classic Gaming. I am Tenchi and today I will be playing the NES classic Castlevania. I will be playing through this game in its entirety. And let me start off by saying that this game is hard, really hard. I will admit I used a lot of save states in order to complete the game because I died a lot. But I still had a lot of fun. Let's dive in. Castlevania, known in Japan as Akumajo Dracula, is a side-scrolling platformer created by Konami. This is the first entry in the series which has spawned numerous sequels. The character I'm playing as is Simon Belmont, and the objective is to travel through Count Dracula's castle and ultimately kill him. Why, you may ask? Well, apparently, Count Dracula emerges every 100 years, and it is the Belmont clan duty to slay him. I will battle numerous bosses along the way, including such classics as Frankenstein, the Mummy, a giant bat, Medusa, and the Grim Reaper, eventually reaching Count Dracula himself. So my main weapon is my magical whip, which can be upgraded in length and attack power 2 times as you already seen. You're pretty much given these upgrades right away and you'll maintain max power whip throughout the game, unless of course you die, in which case you quickly reacquire them anyways. I can also use a special sub-weapon, which you see I've already collected. There's holy water, there's a dagger, there's a cross, there's a stopwatch, and I believe there is also an axe. To use these sub-weapons, it costs hearts, which I regularly collect by killing enemies and attacking candles. So, there are a few other things as you just saw. There is a cross that kills all enemies on the screen, and there is chicken, which restores health. However, the chicken is hidden and you can only find it by destroying certain blocks. My health bar is listed there at the top of the screen. Right below that is the enemy health bar, which only comes into play during boss fights. Here we have some creatures from the Black Lagoon. The first level is pretty easy. I think maybe the developers were trying to lure you into a false sense of security because the difficulty really ramps up as the levels go on. All of the enemies in the first level are pretty basic. The swamp creatures that are jumping up right now, all they do is come up and they shoot something at you every now and then. The bats, as we saw, they just fly at you, and the little ghouls come, they just walk at you. Everything gets killed with just one hit, so there's nothing really to be concerned with there. The bats can sometimes be annoying if they come at weird angles. You can also find little hidden items, like this money bag right there. But, as you can see, I'm not actually going to make it to it in time. The jumping in the game can be a little frustrating sometimes, because, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to register when you try to jump, or you just kind of walk into an invisible wall when you jump sometimes. I don't know if that's just because I'm playing on an emulator, or if it's in the game itself, but it can get annoying. Every time you walk through a set of doors, you've reached a new level in the stage. As you can see at the top right of my screen, my stage number has increased, so again indicating that I've reached a new section. If I died, I'd be able to start from the beginning of that section. These ghouls that go down real quick. Now, for the first boss fight, the giant bat. This one is pretty easy so long as you have the axe sub-weapon. Just throw a bunch of axes and the boss will go down quick. You can see I also just picked up another power-up with that Roman numeral 2. I believe what that does is it increases the strength of my sub-weapon, making it deal more damage. You can get a number 3 Roman numeral, but that doesn't seem to happen very often. So I just killed the boss and I got that little sphere, which restores my life and gives me a bunch of points. At the end of the level, they just tally up all my points, collecting all the hearts and everything else. And now we're going to move on to the next section. I enjoy that little transition animation right there. I think it's just pretty funny to watch. And if you look at how Simon moves, he's also pretty funny to watch because he has like this really like hard-ass stride to him as he goes forward. Like, yeah, no one's gonna F with me. Look at me. I'm gonna F you up. Got my whip. I'm gonna throw this at you. But now we're in the next level, and look at that palette. Wow, a lot of pink and red and everything else. It's actually pretty impressive considering it was on the Nintendo Entertainment System that they did quite a bit with the backgrounds. And now we got a new selection of enemies. We got these knights that kind of just walk back and forth. We got, again, the bats that fly at you. And as we'll see coming up real soon, one of the most annoying enemies in this game. And I kid you not, these enemies will drive you nuts. Because they drove me nuts anyways. And we'll see them real soon. And here they are, the Medusa heads! Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how annoying these things are. They just keep coming in and flying at all kinds of odd angles, and they're just there to F with you. Like, seriously, they will just... Oh, I can't tell you how many times I died. Not so much on the opening section right here, but in this section I'm about to go into right now where I have to do some platforming and jumping over gaps and stuff. Those Medusa heads will knock you in to the pit very easily if you do not time your jumps right, which you'll see here. And I died. So that's an instant death. If you fall, you instantly die. So now I gotta get my power-ups here on my whip again, which, as you can see, they already gave me one. And I'll get the other one real quick. Because, like I said, you pretty much keep that max powered up whip throughout the entirety of the game. And there's the second power-up. There we go. But yeah, those Medusa heads are sinister. Oh, there's another little secret chest right there. Got that. Those Medusa heads, and they come back in a later level, which makes them 10 times worse. But this section right here does require a little bit of dexterity to get through. It's not too hard once you get the rhythm of dodging the Medusa heads down. So as you can see, I just got past it, but I'll tell you, I died quite a few times trying to get through that spot. So here you can see I'm having a little bit of issue with the jump. It's like I'm jumping into an invisible wall for some reason. Again, I don't know if that's just my emulator playing it like that, or if the game actually has that bug in it. You know, it could be either, who knows. If you guys happen to know, feel free to comment on it. But I'm just gonna keep killing stuff and collecting points. Once you hit a certain amount of points, you do get an extra life. And then I'm still having trouble with the jump. There we go, got past it. A little platforming section here. And I just want to point out that the music in this game is really awesome. Each level has like its own unique track, and some of the tracks are really fun to listen to. At least I think so. And I'll point those out as we go through. So now moving into the next area, we have a new mechanic that's about to be introduced, and they actually have stage, like, see, as you can see right there, there's traps on the stage itself. They're not enemies that you can kill or anything, they're just things you need to avoid. Those little spikes on the thing will kill you instantly if you get hit by them, so you need to pay attention and move carefully. I think maybe they want you to kind of test out the stopwatch at that point, but you don't really need to, you can just walk through. There's another new enemy type, which is that little floating ghost that comes at you. And there's another enemy type right here, which is the double dragon skull that spits fire, the little sentry thing. So this is just an indication of how the game is actually getting harder, because this is our first enemy that requires multiple hits to kill. And it actually does a little bit more damage than the other enemies do. So you can see right there, it took me about 5 or 6 whip hits to actually kill that thing. So moving up, we're actually getting pretty close to the second boss. This boss will be the Medusa head, who is also fairly straightforward so long as you have the right sub-weapon. I think that's a bit of a pattern that they put into this game, is that so long as you have the correct sub-weapon, the bosses won't be too hard, or at least they'll be significantly easier. So for this one, I have the stopwatch, which I can just keep freezing time and then just whacking her. This is even easier than the first boss, because the Medusa head can literally do nothing as I kill her. Again, we get another orb, restores our health to full, and now they tally our points. now we are at the next section, or the next area. Here's another really annoying enemy. I think they're called imps, but to me they look kind of like monkeys. I'm not sure, they just remind me of monkeys for some reason. Like the little like monkey things that had like the tambourines that would, you know, slam their hands together. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but there's like a little toy of a monkey that has tambourines. Or not tambourines, cymbals, and it hits the cymbals together. I don't know. But they have like a really weird movement pattern. They just kind of like jump all around and they throw you off a lot. And they'll come back in the later levels and be really annoying. And we got some crows. We got some skeletons. The skeletons go down pretty easy. They do throw bones at you, but I killed it before I got the chance to. The crows can also be kind of annoying because they sometimes change their path mid-flight. Otherwise, you can just kind of figure them out. And keep moving forward. In this level, I really like the background music, so let's take a second just to listen to the background music. That's pretty awesome, right? I don't know, I get a kick out of a kind of electronic type, you know, energetic music. Just kind of gets you going, makes you really feel like, you know, you're moving forward and killing stuff. And the background in this level is pretty interesting too, because it actually gives you a feel that you're outside, or you're on the upper section of the castle that's on the outer areas, and you're still moving your way forward. And you can see there's like statues and, you know, parts of the castle walls all listed in the back. And we got the Medusa heads coming back, but that was pretty quick. We got through there. And again, we have these double-headed dragon skull enemies, which I'm going to use my stopwatch on because I'm pretty low on health and I do not want to die. You may or may not need to. You can actually get close to them and attack their fire and take out their fire before it hits you. But I'm just playing it safe and I'm using the stopwatch, as you can see right there. Taking it out, moving forward. And this level actually goes by pretty quick. I think after this section, I think it's going to be the boss fight. So let's just make a run. And again, these crows, you see how they kind of like right there, they just change up their angle. So if you're not paying attention, it's really easy to get caught off guard and get killed by them. It's really annoying. And again, I'm just playing it really safe. I just want to use that stopwatch to get through. Keep pressing forward and listen to that awesome music. That skeleton, another skeleton, little platforming. And I like that little image right there in the background of the castle, which gives me the feel that that's probably where Dracula's main base is, or that's where his room is in his coffin. Alright, now we're gonna fight the third boss, and I'm pretty low on health, so I gotta be careful. Gonna move in. Now we gotta fight the mummies. Oh, got some chicken! Woo! Chicken! Alright. Well, at least I can take a couple of hits before I die. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get in the corner over here and just start chucking knives, like my life depends on it. Which it pretty much does, and hopefully I can burn them down before I die. So, throwing a bunch of knives, and whipping, and whipping, and whipping, and yes! And we got him with 1 health to spare, yes! Get my globe, and move on to the next level. But that'll be continued in part 2. Please click the subscribe button, and if you want to see the second half of this video, click the link right here. See you guys there, bye!